Pope Francis has died on Easter Monday at the age of 88.
He was called the People's Pope, but even that label doesn't quite cut it. Pope Francis didn't just lead the church. He redefined what it meant to serve. And now the world is grieving, not just priests or presidents, but actors, royalty, comedians, skeptics, and everyday believers who saw in him something rare, unfiltered humility in a time of global ego inflation. The first Latin American pontiff, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio, didn't wear power like a crown. He wore it like a borrowed coat, willing to get dirty if it meant sheltering someone else. From washing the feet of prisoners to challenging world leaders to face poverty head-on, Francis did what few dared to do. He lived his sermons. And when he passed, the reactions weren't rehearsed. They were raw. King Charles and Queen Camilla remembered him with emotion that read like something penned in a handwritten letter, not a royal press release. Joe Biden called him one of the most consequential leaders of our time. And even Donald Trump, not exactly famous for restraint, paid tribute without a punchline.
The flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis, so he was a good man.
Whoopi Goldberg posted a picture and said Francis reminded her of Pope John the 23rd, the kind of comparison that hits differently when it comes from someone who spent her life towing the line between faith and realness. Antonio Banderas said it straight. Francis led with mercy, kindness, and a heart tilted toward the neediest. Russell Crowe looked out over Rome and called it beautiful, but sad. A quiet moment from a man who rarely whispers. And then there's J.D. Vance, vice president, who visited Francis just before he passed. Some online couldn't help but joke, because in the internet's twisted logic, when you're the last to visit someone, you're suddenly a suspect. But even Vance couldn't deny what millions now feel. Francis was fading, but still full of grace. This wasn't just the passing of a religious leader. It was the closing chapter of a man who turned a 2,000-year-old institution into something warmer, more human. He showed up for the poor, the voiceless, the shunned. He opened doors the church had long kept closed and let the sunlight in. He was a challenge to the powerful and a comfort to the powerless. A pope who didn't ask if you were perfect, only if you were hurting. And now, as tributes pour in from palaces and Hollywood sets, social media feeds and Vatican balconies, one thing is clear. Francis didn't just change the church, he cracked it open. This is True Story. I'm Jordan. And sometimes, the most powerful revolutions don't come with fire and fury. They come with a whisper and a man in white who dared to listen.